Hey, everybody. Okay, here is your down and dirty guide to writing your grit and growth essay. Now, the goal of this assignment is for us to practice integrating an argument essay. And so, as we're studying this module, the thesis statement is like the hub of a wheel of your essay. So, your thesis statement is your main idea, it's your point, it's your purpose in writing the essay, it's what you're out to prove. Okay. Now, around that thesis statement, we build the wheel of our argument. And for that, we use PIE, point, information, explanation. We're going to look at that, this module as well. So basically, for this essay, you've got your thesis statement already given to you. You don't have to go out and look for it. And it's going to be something very much like this. In the careers of Malcolm X and Sherman Alexie, we can see the power of a growth mindset and grit, as well as the obstacles of fear factors and a fixed mindset. Pretty basic, right? So, what your task is going to be is to integrate the theory of Dweck, Duckworth, and the author of the fear factors, I think it's Cooper, with the actual narrative arguments of Alexie and X. You're going to be using quotations from both sources. And of course, your points are going to be based in the theory, especially of Dweck and Duckworth. So when we integrate a discussion, let's say that we're talking about growth mindsets. So you use a quote from Dweck as your point in your introduction that like the growth mindset is characterized by for example, one doesn't think that one's intelligence is limited, right? And then once you've introduced that point, you use additional quotations from the theorists to support your argument, but mainly, quotations from X and Alexie. How do they demonstrate this power of growth mindset? How do they make it real in their lives, in their narratives? How do you show the reader through good illustrative quotations and powerful interpretation how the theories that we're studying this module apply to the lives of these two men? That's it. Classic essay: intro, argument, conclusion. And if you'd like to conclude with some personal reflections about the power of grit and growth mindsets to transform our own lives, you're welcome to do that too. But in this case, you want to keep that until the conclusion. Okay, one other tip that can be helpful. I learned this when I was working at a publishing house when I was a young man. And what the chief editor there said to me was, write as if your audience is a very intelligent 14-year-old girl. And that's always stayed with me because obviously 14-year-old girls can be super sharp, right? But you also need to draw them in. You need to give them juicy details and good information, and you can't BS them. Your language needs to be focused, and you need to be intent on having a meaningful delivery. So if you're not quite sure why you're writing what you're writing, as you're working on your rough draft, take a moment to think about that 14-year-old girl. What do you have to communicate to her that's going to make a difference in her life? Okay? All right. Uh, Text me, write me, I don't know, send me a carrier pigeon if you have any questions. And I look forward to working with you as we progress in the class. All right. Bye bye.